doing a special series this week, so you don't want to miss any of these free classes that I'll be holding. Now, I probably won't be live. I'll try to be live at 5 each day, but I'm just going to have to go live when I get the chance because I'm flat strapped this week. So hello and welcome to my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. So if this is the first time that you have watched me, my name is Donna and I'm a Stamping Up demonstrator from the Scenic Rim in Queensland, and I teach people how to make cards from the beginning to the end. So I make crafting easy by showing you step-by-step instructions. So if this is the first time that you have watched, please say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. If you're a regular that watches me every time, please say hello and let me know that you are watching. So hello and welcome. So I can see a few of you are jumping on. So I go live at 5 every Monday afternoon, but I will be going live for a Christmas in July special this week. I will be going live every day, showing you some beautiful Christmas crafting and just showcasing a lot of our Christmas products that we have. Now, you may say, Christmas in July, what? But you know what? It's never too early to get started on your Christmas crafting. So I'm hopefully by the end of this week, I will show you lots of tips and tricks, and I will show you lots of things that you can use to do your Christmas crafting with this year. So welcome everybody. And as I said, please say hello. Let me know where you're watching from when you jump on. And as I said, I will be going live every day this week. So 5 days in a row. I hope I can hold myself up to that bargain, but I will be going live 5 days in a row. Friday, I'm not quite sure how that will work. It may have to be a Saturday morning thing because I have to pick my daughter up. She's having all of her wisdom teeth taken out on Friday. So I actually have to go back home and pick her up and sit at the hospital and wait. So I'll probably be gone all day Friday. So I'll try and work out something anyway for Friday. So hello and welcome everybody. I can see quite a lot of you jumping on now, so that is awesome. Now I'm going to show you some older products and some newer products tonight. It's actually an older product that we've had for a while, but I'm also going to show you some new embellishments and things, so you won't want to miss. So make sure you turn on the notifications for when I go live, because I may not be going live at 5 o'clock every day. I will try to give you a heads up when I'm actually going live, but as I said, it'll be depending on what's happening with my working situation and what I'm doing throughout the week. But I will promise that I will be live every day showing you a different project. So now the awesome thing about me going live and having this Christmas in July special, what you can do is you can earn a mega kit, and I'm talking a mega kit to make one of everything that I do this week in my live videos. So that means I will do a minimum of 2 projects each day. Today I'm actually doing 3, but I will do a minimum of 2 projects. So that means a minimum of 10 projects that you will get a kit to actually make one of each of those projects for free if you place an order of $100 or more through my online store. If you place an order of $100, $150 or more, I will actually throw in a free embellishment as well. So, so just remember, you need to use the host code. I will be putting a shopping link of everything that I'm actually using in the videos. I will be putting a shopping link. If there's something that you think I don't have, or something that you have missed on your ordering or missed on your wish list, I will have everything listed in the show more box down below, and I will also have it in the description of the video on Facebook. So I am going to be using, as you can see, the Perched in a Tree bundle. Now, believe it or not, I purchased this Perched in a Tree bundle a while back, and I haven't used it. So it was brand new. So I had to crack it open today and actually ink it up and get a bit of ink on it. So I've actually done that, and I've created 3 gorgeous cards. And you may have seen, if you're on my email list, you may have seen the 3 cards that I'm creating today, but we are going to have a super fun time. So just remember, we've got a couple of things happening this month. So for any order that you place, a $90 order or more, you will earn a $9 coupon. So if you place a $100 order or more, you will actually get the free kit this week. So it will actually go out at the end of next week. It will be a kit because I'll need time to cut all the kits for everybody. But you will get all the cardstock and the designer series paper that I will use to make each project this week. If you place a $100 order or more, if you place a $150 order or more, you will get a free embellishment as well as the free kit. So, but if you place a $180 order, you'll get 2 $9 vouchers to spend in August next month. So that's an awesome special as well. All right, so let's get to crafting because I know you're all keen to see what I'm doing. So today I'm going to use the Perched in a Tree bundle, and tomorrow I think I'm going to be using, it's either going to be the Trucking Along one or the Horse and Sleigh bundle. So I will be using one of those new online exclusives as well. All right, so let's get here and see if I've got my camera straight. All right, so I've got my kits already. I've done some of the cutting. So this is some of the things that you will get done is I will cut the labels and I will cut the leaves for you. So that will actually be done in your kit, your free kit, if you earn a free kit this week. But everything else, the designer series paper will be cut in the lengths and things, but there will be no ribbons and no embellishments. So I leave that up to you to use some of your own ribbons and embellishments that may go with this card kit. So, all right, so that's actually how the kits will come like that. For each card, you'll get all of the supplies to be able to create the cards. So I'll pop those aside and I'll show you the 3 cards that we're going to make today. So we have this one here. So you can see the gorgeous, beautiful little bird there. So we're going to be doing a bit of blends coloring there. We've got this one here. And we've also got this one here. So I'm using that gorgeous designer series paper. And I just realized I didn't put that designer series paper in the list. So I will actually have to, or someone can actually maybe type that into, because I can't actually edit this list after I've actually gone live. So anyway, so these are the 3 cards that we're going to be making this afternoon. And they're pretty easy cards. They may look like they're not easy cards, but they are pretty easy cards. So so the first one I'm actually going to do is we might get started on this one here. So it's using this, it's using thick basic white. So your basic white will be cut in the normal card base size. So I do it 5 3/4 by 8. I always do my card bases the same all the time. So I'm just going to fold that in half and burnish it with my bone folder, if I can find it. And I probably always find, I was going to say I always find the dirty one, but I found the one that's not so dirty today. All right, so then we have a strip of designer series paper. So this is actually just a half strip of the paper. So it's just the 6 by 6 cut in half. And I've also done a strip of the Misty Moonlight, which is 3 1/4 inches wide by the 5 3/4 as well. So I'm actually just going to mount that up onto my Misty Moonlight layer. So Misty Moonlight is a color that came back. We had it and then it went. It was a, hey Kelly, how you going? It was an in color, and it came back as one of the returning core colors. So so I was actually super glad that it came back. Now this paper, it reminds me of the On the Horizon paper. Does anyone remember that gorgeous paper that we had with the On the Horizon stamp set? It was absolutely it was absolutely awesome, that paper. Well, this Christmas paper, it reminds me of that. So it's the Horse and Sleigh Christmas paper, and it actually reminds me of that gorgeous Horizon paper. So all I've done is I've just glued that onto that layer, and you can see here I've actually used, this is one side of the paper. I think it went that way. and this is the other side of the paper. So these designs are great because with 6x6 paper, you can get 2 of these cards out of each sheet of 6x6 paper. So this design is great for any of your 6x6 paper that you use. You can actually get 2 cards out of each. Now, I've gone ahead and I've cut these dies. Now, these are the Something Fancy dies. So I'm just going to show you these dies. They're a set of dies that go with the Something Fancy stamp set. So it's a great bundle to have. It's got great sentiments and things, but the actual dies themselves are fantastic for using on other projects as well. So I decided to incorporate the Something Fancy dies for all of my sentiment labels, and it gives me some great shapes and some great layering up labels to be able to use. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to stamp that sentiment on that label. So it's done out of just our basic white. So I'm just going to grab that stamp. What did it say? No matter the season. Oh, it's that one there. Okay. So I'm going to ink that up in our Misty Moonlight. So the color scheme that I'm using today, I'm using Misty Moonlight. I'm using Pebbled Path. I'm also using Crumb Cake, and I did have boho blue out on my desk, but don't think I used boho blue, so I think I just used these 3 colors. And sorry, I haven't got Crumb Cake on my thing there. So a Misty Moonlight is what I'm going to ink the sentiment up with. Now this sentiment just fits on here really, really nicely. So no matter the season, I'm here for you. I thought that was a really, really great sentiment. Okay, so no matter the season, I'm here for you. Oh, I did use boho blue. Yes, I did. I just looked. I used it down the side of the card. So there you go. I had it out on the desk for a reason. So, all right. So I'm going to use boho blue down the edges of this card base. So I'm just going to bring in a scrap piece of paper. I always like to protect my pierce mat to make sure that I'm not going to pop any ink on my pierce mat. Now there's a cute texture stamp in here, and it's just a whole heap of dots. So what I did was with my boho blue, I just went down the edge and just randomly keep turning it around all different ways so that you get your dots going all different ways. So down both sides of that card front. So I'm just going to turn it around just for the ease. And we're just going to go straight down both sides of that card front right there. Okay. All right, so we have that. And then we have, as I said, we have that gorgeous layer there. So that down the sides just gives a little bit of interest in behind your, Deborah's saying that she still has some of the Horizon paper. I know, it was gorgeous. And I think this is just as stunning, this paper. So we have that. That just gives a little bit of interest going down the sides of our card front there. So then we have our sentiment that we've got here. So we're going to pop that up onto some dimensionals. And I've also gone ahead and I've cut out 2 of these gorgeous leaves from our silver specialty foil paper. Okay. Now, please excuse me if that is not current. I didn't actually jump in and see in the catalog. I had some over in my stash and I thought it would go really well with it. So I do apologize if it's not current, but I didn't double check before I jumped on to see if that was still current. So we have that there like that. And then of course we've got our 2 gorgeous leaves that I thought would be nice to decorate. So now I'm just going to glue that front bit down onto the card base. So I'm going to glue that directly down because I've popped up that sentiment. So I didn't think that it needed to be popped up, seeing that as the sentiment was getting popped up. So I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back of that sentiment layer as well. Okay. So I've just come off a really, really busy weekend. If you have been following us on my business page on social media, I just had my 2-day craft retreat here in Beaudesert, which was a super fantastic weekend had by all. And I can tell you, we were very, very busy and it was a huge weekend, but I'm sure all of the ladies had such a wonderful time. So it's always a bit of a, like, after I've done a big retreat like that, it's a bit of a, I like to just go, I'm finished for a bit, but you know what? Work still happens. So I actually did that earlier on this morning, and then I thought, you know what? I need to get my running shoes on. So hence why I was late this afternoon, because I've been trying to fit all the things in because I started to relax a little bit and I shouldn't have. But anyway, it's all good. I'm here and we're crafting. So that's the best part. All right. So I'm just going to pop some little glue dots on the back of those leaves, and I'm just going to poke that in underneath that sentiment layer like that. And I'm going to do the second one like that. Now, those leaves, honestly, they just finished it off. Like, I wasn't going to put the leaves on. And then, you know what? I looked at it and I thought, that looks really, really pretty with the leaves on it. So I felt like the silver foil just made it look a little bit more classy. Sometimes it's just little embellishments like that that really, really make the difference by just popping a little embellishment on like that, just to give it a bit more bling. We all love bling. Well, I mean, I know I do. We wouldn't be crafters if we didn't like bling, would we? Okay, so I'm just tying just with the Simply Elegant trim. Now, this Simply Elegant trim, honestly, is such a good staple to have in your craft room. And I think it's a really, really good um, a good thing to have for Christmas crafting, because it's got silver and gold. It comes in a twin pack, and it's got silver and gold. And just with the silver and gold together, you've got everything that you need for your crafting when it comes to Christmas. So if you're looking for something that's going to be a multi-purpose embellishment, I can tell you the Simply Elegant trim is definitely the way to go. All right, so I have, and now I'm trying to find my take your pick tool. I can find the one with the pokey tool on the end, but I want the other one. Anyway, so I've just put a glue dot on behind that bow. Just going to take that off, and that's just going to sit in there. Okay, so that just finishes off where those leaves are there. So now we've actually got to stamp something on the inside. So what I actually did was, there's this really, really nice, like, tree stump. Okay, so I've used it a fair bit with all of the cards because it gave just a really nice inside piece. Now, I'm not actually going to put an insert in here because we actually have it on white. It's a white card base anyway, so I'm actually not going to worry about an insert. So I'm going to stamp one full strength, and then without re-inking, I'm going to move it up and stamp a second one, but half strength. And it looks a little bit like there's a tree sort of sitting further in the distance. And then, just to finish it off, these little dots that we have that we've done with the blue, we're then just going to go in the pebbled path, and we're just going to add some of them around like that. Okay. And that is, oh, sorry. And most of all, the best part, the pretty bling. So I actually did an order the other day, and I thought, you know what, I need to get some of the new bling. And oh my Lord, these honestly are absolutely gorgeous. So these are they are called adhesive back sparkle gems. Now, if you don't have these, I'm telling you, you definitely need to put them on your order, because they have gold ones, they have black ones, and they have silver ones. And they also have them in the different sizes. So you've got the larger ones, and then you've got the more medium ones. So I thought these were fantastic for Christmas crafting as well. So if you're on a limited budget and you are trying to work out exactly what you want to get to do your Christmas crafting, and you want something that's going to be versatile, I think the Simply Elegant trim, along with the adhesive back sparkle gems, are a must. Now, honestly, I can't believe that my take your pick is probably right in front of me, but oh, there it is. There it is. It's in my drawer. I knew it would be there somewhere. All right, so then I'm just going to use some of these sparkle gems on the front. So I'm going to grab one of the larger ones. I'm just going to pop a larger one and one of the smaller ones just there like that. Then I'm just going to pop another smaller one just actually down there like that. And there you have your first quick and easy Christmas card. Look at that. So just a strip of designer series paper with a backing layer, some nice sentiment labels, and a little bit of foil and a bit of bling. And there you have a gorgeous card. So that's my two gorgeous cards. So you can see just using the two sides of that designer series paper and how lovely you can get from just that simple, easy design. All right. So the next one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one here. So I'm going to use the birds. So I've got a pebbled path layer for base for my base. So I'm just going to fold that pebbled path layer in half. Just going to double check that is the right size. Yes, it is the right size. Okay, so I've got that, and then I'm actually going to burnish that so that the fold is really, really nice. So once again, 5 3/4 by 8 inches folded in half gives me a 4 inch by 5 3/4 inch front. So now I've got a piece of this designer series paper. So this one's got the fox on it. This one didn't. So this is one side of it. This is the other side of it with the fox on it. So I don't mind that the fox is going to be on it because we're actually going to stamp a bird and the bird's going to go. But I think the fox will be quite cute to have the fox on the front as well. All right. So same scenario. So 3 inches by the 6 inches. And I'm just going to add that to the real red layer that I have underneath. Now, when it comes to doing these coordinating layers, I always say to people, it's so much nicer to actually put your designer series paper onto a layer. So on that layer, you'll find that that layer actually, it is so much better to actually have something that's backing behind the designer series paper. It just gives a little bit more quality look to your card rather than just sticking designer series paper straight down onto your card base. All right, so I'm just going to trim off that overhang that's on there. And so we have that ready to go on the front. Okay, so now once again, I wanted to have a little bit of something behind that layer to take that plain look off the card base. So I'm going to bring in my Pierce mat again. I'm going to bring in that tree stump, and we're actually just going to stamp some tree stumps along the side. So just to give it a little bit of a woody look. So I'm just going to stamp them alongside there just to create, and then I'm going to stamp off and just stamp over. Stamp off and stamp over just to create a little bit of a foresty look. So same thing on this side. So we're going to do full strength. There, and then we're going to do half strength and fill in the gaps with the half strength. And just create that nice woody sort of look down the sides. And it's really just to create, you can see there, just a little bit of interest in behind, okay? All right, so then I've got a scrap piece of paper. I'm going to stamp my bird and we're going to color that. So I'm just going to grab the bird stamp. And I'm just going to do it in the pebbled path. Instead of mucking around with any different colors, I'm just going to stamp the bird with the pebbled path. Okay, let that dry for a bit. And then I'm actually going to take just my light crumb cake and my light pool party to color my bird. Now, I didn't go into any elaborate coloring here. Now, if you don't have blends, you could quite easily use just a blender pen. Like, so if you actually don't have the blends, you could use a blender pen and pick up some of your ink. You could use your Wink of Stella and pop your Wink of Stella just into your just squeeze some ink into the lid of your ink pad and use your Wink of Stella to color. You could use some watercolor pencils if you have watercolor pencils, or you can just use plain coloring in pencils as well. So don't think that you have to have every single thing to be able to craft. Just use what you have on hand, and you can quite easily bring this gorgeous bird to life with a bit of color. So isn't it cute? Absolutely such a cute little bird. So then I'm actually going to use the matching dies that go with the perched in a tree. So there's a die for the bird. Now, if you don't have the dies, if you only have the stamp set, the bird could quite easily be fussy cut out. It's actually not that hard to fussy cut it out. So so if you were on a budget and you didn't want to get the dies, you just wanted to get the stamp, then you can easily just get the stamp and do a bit of fussy cutting. All right, so I'm just going to pop that on there and cut that bird out now that we've colored it. So just pop that on there, run it through. And we have our cute bird cut out, which just fell on the floor. Okay. There it is. All right. So, so super, super cute, that bird. All right, so we have our bird. Now, the next thing that we need to do, everything keeps falling on the floor. The next thing that we need to do is to stamp our sentiment layer here. So we're actually going to stamp that with our crumb cake. Now, when you, this is a trick that I do. If you don't want to heat emboss, now this would look gorgeous heat embossed, absolutely stunning in gold heat embossing. But if you don't want to get out all the heat embossing tools and things and you want that goldish look, crumb cake is the go-to thing to do. So crumb cake can look like you've actually done gorgeous heat embossing. Oh, that's not the words that I want to say. This one is. Wishing you abundant joy and peace. So this is actually a really, really cute set for Christmas. So I'm going to stamp it over towards that side so that we've got room to put our bird on the top here. So I've actually just placed that sentiment over that side a little bit. So then on our insert, we may as well stamp that while we've got our pierce mat out. So I'm just going to grab a scrap piece of paper again, and we will stamp that insert. May as well use the piece we've been using all the time. Okay, so on the insert, we're actually going to stamp the trees again. So, I'll put that back over here. So just with our pebbled path, I'm going to ink up that tree stump. And we're going to do the same thing again. So we're going to stamp one here. And then without re-inking, we're going to stamp another one just over here. Okay, so we've got that bit of a look like it's a tree sort of in the distance a little bit. Then we're going to bring in that cute little dotty stamp again. Now, what color did we do with it last? We did Pebble Path, but I'm just going to use crumb cake, and we're going to use a little bit of crumb cake just to add a little bit of grounding there for the tree stumps. And then I'm actually going to use the other sentiment that I inked up before. So I've got on the front, wishing you abundant joy and peace. And then I've gone, your kindness warms my heart. So I thought that was a really, really nice sentiment to pop on the inside of the card. All right, so we have that done. Now we're just going to assemble that card. So as you can see, there is honestly not a huge amount of stamping here, but we're getting some really, really pretty looking cards with this bundle. Who that's watching, who owns the bundle already, or who has it on their wish list? Or who didn't have it on their wish list, I should say, and now they're starting to think that they might pop it onto their wish list. I just want to apologize ahead of time if I have convinced you already I apologize ahead of time. Okay, so we have that. Hey, Leslie. I hope you've rested up after your big weekend. So Leslie was at my retreat this weekend, just gone. Belinda says, own it, one of your favorites. Doris, now considering. I'm sorry, Doris. Oh, you have it, Leslie. Well done. Hey, Lynn, how you going? Thanks for joining. All right, so we have that. So then I'm actually going to pop this sentiment layer up on dimensionals. So I'm just going to pop up the white bit onto the real red. And then I'm actually going to glue it down because I actually want to pop the bird up as well. So sometimes you just got to be careful with how much dimension you put on your card. Leslie says she slept half the day. So Leslie spent the 2 days at my craft retreat on the weekend, and it was her first retreat. So she absolutely had a ball. And I can tell you, it was so much fun. There were so many beautiful new friendships that have formed from the 2-day retreat. So if you've been thinking about coming to one of my retreats, my next one is the 18th and 19th of November. And I already have, I think 13 people booked in already for my November one. So if you're thinking about coming to my November retreat, 18th and 19th of November, mark the date in your diary. And yeah, come and have an awesome time. All right, so now I'm just going to glue that directly down just with a little bit of liquid glue. And I'm just going to, seeing we've got the fox here, I'm just going to pop up the sentiment a little bit probably higher than what I did on the first one, just so that we can see the fox, so we don't cover the fox over, because the fox is a little bit of a feature there. All right, and then our bird, we're going to pop our bird up on dimensional. So because the bird's going to come over here and overlap onto our sentiment layer, we only need to pop our dimensionals on that top, because we don't want to pop them on the bottom part of the bird, because then it's going to bulk up because we've already got our sentiment popped up. So I'm just going to turn it over and just put it the dimensionals across the top of the bird and down its tail. And then that will be right to pop onto the front. Okay, so we're just going to pop our little bird sitting on there, just like that. All right, so then with the bow, I've actually done a double bow with this one. So sometimes with this cord, I like to bulk it up a little bit and make it look a little bit more hefty on your card. So all I've done now with these twines, with these Simply Elegant trim, I always like to run my fingernail along it to straighten it out, okay? Because otherwise it's very curly, because it's been on the round on the round spool, and it's very curly. So you want to actually like run your fingernail down along it so that it straightens it out. And then I'm going to cut 2 strands of the gold trim. And we are just going to tie a bow with those 2 strands, and it just bulks up the bow a little bit because you've got the 2 strands, and gives a little bit more oomph to your bow. Now, just when you're realigning the loops, make sure that you're pulling both of those ends and both of the tails when you're actually realigning your loops and tightening up your loops. I'm just going to trim that off a little bit. And then, of course, that's actually just going to pop here. So I'm actually going to do that with a glue dot and glue it just below our bird. So a nice glue dot, and then pop it just below the bird there. And then, of course, with these gorgeous embellishments, I'm going to take some of the gorgeous gold sparkle ones, and we will embellish with the gold. Hi from cold Sydney. Well, it's not too bad here in Beaudesert. It's actually not too bad. I mean, it's not as warm as what it has been. It's a little bit chilly, a bit more overcast today, but still quite nice day. I had a lady that came all the way from South Australia to my retreat, and she's actually still here. She's actually going to come and have afternoon tea with me tomorrow afternoon and come and hang out at my place a little bit. But she made a holiday of it. Her and her husband came and they made a holiday of it, and she's having a lovely time. And she asked me what the weather was like, and I said, well, for you down there in South Australia, our weather is a lot warmer than what you're used to. And when she came up, she was like, oh, I can't believe how gorgeous the days are. So there you go. There's card number 2. So if you love what I'm doing, please give me the thumbs up. And remember, this is a free card class. So you are able to earn a free kit for everything that I do. I'm doing 5 live videos this week. And for every live video, I'm actually, for anyone that places an order of $150 or more, $100 or more, you get a free kit of one of everything that I'm making this week. So that will be a minimum of 10 projects. For everyone that places an order for $150 or more, I will throw in a free embellishment, plus you will get the mega kit as well. So this week is a Christmas in July special. So it's really, really awesome. So you get all the supplies except for the embellishments for you to actually recreate these cards. So Leslie's asking me what time. And Leslie, honestly, I'm going to try my best to go live at 5 o'clock each day. But if it turns out that I'm going to have to go live earlier to fit it in the day, then that's what I'm going to have to do. I will be live at 5 o'clock again tomorrow, because 5 o'clock I'm free tomorrow, and I am free on Wednesday. So I will definitely be live at 5 tomorrow. I will definitely be live at 5 again on Wednesday. But on Thursday and Friday, I have to just wing it, because on Thursday and Friday, I have no idea. I may have to drive home to the Northern Rivers area Thursday afternoon. If my daughter goes into her operation early on Friday morning, I'm going to have to go down there Thursday afternoon. If she goes in at lunchtime, then I'm going to have to go down there Friday morning. So I will be able to do the 5 o'clock Thursday afternoon thing. But anyway, so definitely 5 o'clock tomorrow, definitely 5 o'clock Wednesday. And for Thursday and Friday, I'm going to wing it. I'm just going to be able to go live when I can. So that's card number 2. So let's move on to card number 3 out of this card class. And card number 3 is this one here. So I've always loved the die in this Perched in a Tree beautiful die, and it's got a gorgeous like forest look. So what I decided to do was to actually use one of these forest looks and then do a white forest look over the top. So oh, there it is there. I was going to say, I have a piece of I just heard a little sneeze, and it's my cat. He's down underneath my craft bench here, and he just had a bit of a sneeze. So I'm actually going to use this gorgeous die. Now, I'll tell you something that I actually did with this die, and I'm going to show you because it's on the back of one of my samples. But what I actually did with this die, I used this stamp here out of the stamp set. So it's like a textured stamp. So I used this stamp with crumb cake on crumb cake cardstock, and I stamped it all over the crumb cake cardstock, and then I cut out this die. It looked fabulous, but when I put it over what I'd already done, it didn't quite look so good. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like, because it's on the back here. Look how good that looks. Forget about the layer that's in underneath. I changed my mind. I went, nope, don't like that. That's not happening. So when I was designing it, but I loved the look that it gave by stamping with that stamp and then cutting out that layer. So it gave a really good, it gave that real speckled bark look, which I thought was quite good. So I had a great idea. It just didn't work with the design of the card that I wanted to do. So so that's on the back of one of my samples. But so I then decided that I would do this to still use the die cut, because I really wanted to use the die cut, and because it's gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning. That is actually the reason why I bought this bundle. Believe it or not, that die cut is why I bought this bundle. Okay, so I'm just going to run that piece of white cardstock. Now that piece of white cardstock is cut at 3.5 inches by 5.25 inches. And I did it on purpose that it's not going to fit quite on there. And I did that on purpose because I wanted it to still be able to to stay on the layer that I'm doing on the front. Yes, Annette, there is a team meeting on Wednesday, and everyone's asking me that today. I've had that many messages this afternoon asking me, is it on Wednesday? Yes, it will be on Wednesday, but it will be starting at 6 o'clock on Wednesday because I will be doing a live video first. So I'll be under the pump on Wednesday. It really will. But I will put the details into the team page very, very soon. Hopefully tomorrow I will get to do that. So, but I have been asked that question. There will be no in-person team meeting this month. I've just got too much on. I'm about to start building my craft studio again, and I just have too much on. So I've decided to just not have the team meeting in person, but to actually do the online one, and then we will get back to the in-person team meeting on in August, doing it the right way. Okay. All right. So, okay. So Leslie's asking, I hope it's nothing too serious with my daughter. She's getting her wisdom teeth taken out. So she's at that age of the good old wisdom teeth. She's getting the wisdom teeth taken out, and she's having the whole 4 done at once. And so she's going into hospital and going under full anesthetic. So she's a little bit, she's nearly 21 years of age and has never been under anesthetic. So she's a little bit, I think she's a little bit scared. So she wants to see her mother before she goes under anesthetic. And I said, you'll be fine. And she's like, no, I want to see you. What happens if something happens to me? So anyway, so of course she wants to see her mother before she goes out to it. So, so I told her I'd take her to the hospital. All right. So I'm going to do the same thing with this layer. So same thing, 3 inches, again, half a sheet of your designer series paper. So we're just going to glue that on and then trim off the excess overlay again. All right, there. And tomorrow's live will be 2 projects, not 3. I was a little bit eager doing the 3 today, but I had 3 great designs and I was like, I'll do the 3. But tomorrow will be 2 projects. So it'll probably be 2 projects each night. So you'll end up getting a minimum of, well, you'll get a minimum of 11 because I've done 3 tonight. So, all right, so we have that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue this on that it's going to go flush on one side, and I'm just going to trim the overhanging off the other side. Okay. So you love the back of the DSP that I just used. I didn't see what the back was, but anyway, I chose not to look at the back, Merlene. So I didn't go, oh, I want to use that side too. Anyway, so I'm just going to add some glue just on the pieces as much as I can to get that to adhere down onto that front layer. And I'm just going to glue it directly down on because I wanted to pop up the rest, and it looks really good with the rest popped up. Okay. So for this side here, we're going to glue it right on the edge of our Misty Moonlight layer. So for the free class, if you earn the free kit, you come back. I will actually share the link of this video on a little sheet that comes in your kit. And I will share the link of the video so that you can actually type it into YouTube and come straight back to the YouTube video. So if you earn the free kit this week, you will be able to go back and check out that video. So it's a mega kit this week. I've been giving away the kits just of my Monday class. You're getting like 5 times the amount in the kit. So for an order of $100, you will get a free kit of one of everything that I make. And for an order of $150 or more, you'll get a free embellishment as well. All right, so we've got that ready to go. So now what we want to do is we want to stamp that Let Heaven and Nature Sing. We want to stamp that in our Misty Moonlight. So I'm just going to grab that, and I'm going to grab my Misty Moonlight. I'm just going to, okay, so we've got Misty Moonlight. We're going to ink that up, and we're going to stamp that sentiment. We're going to do that over towards this side because we want to put our leaf on that side. So I'm just going to stamp it over towards that side a little bit more. Okay, so let heaven and nature sing. So we've got that done. Now for the inside of our card, I'm going to keep that pierce mat out. We'll grab our scrap piece of paper, which has just fallen on the ground. So we'll grab another piece of paper and we'll protect our pierce mat. I'll fold that card base in half so it's basic white thick cardstock again, and use my bone folder to crease it. And I've got ink on my fingers. I always do that when I've got white. I've got so much ink on my hands today. It's not funny. I've been very busy stamping today. All right, so I'm just going to pop the tree stamp again inside with my pebbled path. So I'm going to ink up that stump, and we'll go one there, then without re-inking up there. And then we will get that little dotty stamp again. And this one we're going to do with our boho blue. No, we're doing it with Misty Moonlight. Okay, there. And I'm just randomly stamping and not re-inking, okay, just to get a little bit of texture there on the inside of the card. All right, so we have that. We have our sentiment there, and we have our label here that we're going to use. So the next thing what we're going to do is we're going to pop up that first layer onto our card. So I'm just going to add some dimensionals on the back there. We don't need the pierce mat anymore. All right. When does your order need to be in, Joan? It's actually in the details. It needs to be in by Friday, Friday at midnight. So after you've seen my Friday video, you can actually do your qualifying order that night if you wanted to do it, or you can do an order through the week. It's totally up to you. If you want to wait and see if there's things out of what I do on the Friday video that you want to pop into your qualifying order, totally up to you. But the ordering time is from today, which is the 24th, right through to midnight on Friday, the 28th of July, 2023. So if you're watching this video back later on and the date has gone, you have missed the mega kit. But yeah. And so you will see in the show more box down below too, you will see the shopping link, and you will see that it's got the host code connected to it. And if you just use that link and go directly to my online store, it will already have the host code connected to it. If not, I can actually show you what the host code is. Hang on, and I grab it here. Where are we? It says last Monday's class, but this is the host code. Okay, so the WY6KPFHR. You will get the free mega kit this week if you place an order of $100 or more. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that over to the left-hand side of the front of the card, just like that. Then we've got our sentiment layer. I'm just going to adhere the sentiment down onto the front of the card, and just by using liquid glue. And we're going to pop that onto that layer. So once again, that's the fancy labels, dies. Is it called fancy? Something fancy dies. Absolutely awesome set of dies to be a staple in your craft room. Oh, my drawer didn't want to come out. Okay, so I'm just going to turn that over, and I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back of that one. Okay, and we're going to pop that up, and we're going to pop it over to the left. So I've put the layer over to the left on the front, and I'm also going to pop this over to the left, because then it actually shows that leaf as a feature. So I've got one of those silver foil leaves again, and I'm just going to use some of the silver elegant trim. Oh, hang on, I'm going to take that off. I forgot I'm supposed to wrap this elegant trim around that. So I'm going to carefully pull that off. You can do this if you're very careful. Okay, I'm going to wrap that around. So I'm just going to add a bit of Seal Plus on the back of that layer. I forgot about that part. So I'm just going to add some Seal Plus right there. And I'm going to add the tail of my thread, my silver thread, into the Seal Plus. Okay, and stick it down. And then I'm going to wrap that around. And I wrapped it around about 3 times. And then I'll just stick it back into that Seal Plus again, and that will hold it on the back of there. So we have that wrapped right around the layer. I'll get rid of that banner. We have that wrapped right around the layer, and then I'm going to tie the bow afterwards. So I've got that popped up on dimensionals there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my fingernail along this again to make it nice and straight. Can you see how that straightens it out? It's always awesome to be able to do that. Otherwise, you'll tend to struggle. When you're trying to tie it, you'll tend to struggle when it's all curled up. So I'm just going to tuck that in underneath all of those like that. Okay. And I'm then just going to tie a bow. So I'm just going to have a little bit of fun here and tie a bow. So I've got that like that. And then I'm just going to tie a quick little bow. So it's easier when you're doing it like that, that you've already got the twine wrapped around and you're not trying to hold it nice and tight. Well, she says that as she's trying to tie a bow. But anyway, but it's easier to do that than trying to tie it all around and holding on to it and trying to get the bow tied as well. So it's a much better way of being able to tie a bow on the front rather than trying to. And we all know I struggle with twine, and it's making it look way harder than what it has to. Go through there. Oh, wow. It will get there sooner or later. There we go. Nope. Or you can actually just tie one and glue dot it on, but there we go. So you've just got to get it curling the right way. It was just because it was doing its own thing and wanting to go a little bit crazy. So there we go. We've got our twine there. Then I'm just going to add a glue dot to my leaf and pop my leaf on. So just a glue dot there. Okay, and then we'll just pop that cute leaf just down there like that. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we have that. Then I decided that with the dots, I could have used the silver ones on here, but I decided I might go with the black ones because I thought the black ones were something a little bit different. So, and it adds a little bit more character. So I'm just going to do that one, this one, and another little one just there. Okay, and there you have your third and final card. So what do you think? And I mean, honestly, you could actually, to tell you the truth, you could grab some Wink of Stella. Here we go. And you could spritz some Wink of Stella over those. And that would absolutely just make them look gorgeous. Gives more of that Christmassy feel. So there's the second card that we did. And this one here is the first card that we did. So if you have absolutely loved what I have done today and you want to get your hands on the kit, as I said, it's just a qualifying order of $100 or more this week, and you will get a mega kit. As I said, it's going to be a mega kit. So it will be a minimum of 10 projects this week for free if you place a $100 order or more on my online store using the host code. You love them all, Glenda? So please give me the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. On YouTube, you'll find it's the little bell icon down the bottom. Sorry, make sure you turn the bell icon on because that actually notifies you every time I go live. And I will be back here live again with some more Christmas crafting tomorrow. And it will either be the horse and sleigh or the trucking, what's it called? What is it called? The trucking along. So it could be the trucking along bundle, or it could be the horse and sleigh, or it could be a bit of both. You never know. So thank you very much for hanging out with me today. And I'm super excited to be crafting with you each day this week in my Christmas in July special. And I can tell you it will give you lots and lots of ideas to get yourself started for your Christmas crafting, because it's never too early to get started for Christmas crafting. If you have a lot of Christmas crafting to do, or if you celebrate Christmas in July, these videos, these free classes will be very, very informative for you to be able to get some of your Christmas crafting ideas put away. So thank you, everyone. And until next time, I will see you all again soon.